my Cali winter gear right here. You know, I
Yeah.
know this is summer gear for you, but
Yeah, yeah, man. I swear, man. Canada, man, has the worst weather, man. I was actually gonna ask you if you were in Sweden or Cali because I understand that you moved to Sweden.
yeah, I'm in Cali right now. Moved to Sweden in 2003,
Okay.
but I always, go back and forth. So I'm out here in Cali right now.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
so this is because I always paid attention to you. I just want to hear from the horse's mouth. Is it true that MC Shan was the first person to influence you to make records? Past guest, by the way.
Oh man, MC Shan was totally my inspiration. Because I was rapping a few years prior to when the bridge came out, and
Okay.
I was already rapping, but I was just like writing raps. I had a homie named Jay that used to beatbox or be at school beating on the table, or you know. And then most of the rappers to me were like grown men, like they had beards and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Flash, they looked like they were 30 already or
Yeah, and
something.
they're like in the late, like early 20s.
Right. So I'm like 15, 14, 15 years old, and I hear the bridge. I heard it first. And I was like, damn, that dude sound like he rapping, I could just really relate to it. And then when I saw him, I was like, damn, that's a young dude rapping.
Yeah. So I didn't know he looked like that.
But even when I first heard the song, I was like, he sounds like what I would say right now about where I'm from, because that's all I knew. I had never really been out of Pacoima at the time. So that was all I really knew. And I was like, that's dope. He made a song about his town. And I went immediately made a song kind of like that.
Well, that's interesting that you say that MC Shan inspired you too, being from the West Coast, though, because like that's all the way from New York, coming from where you're from too. But like you can see how it resonated within your style as you guys progressed throughout the years too.
Yeah, I mean, during that time, we talking about 1985 here.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't even here yet.
Yeah, so wasn't that much West Coast hip hop.
Yeah, it was more like
But
it would
it wasn't
be.
like even a choice. Like, oh, I'm listening to some East Coast rap. No, it was just hip hop. It was
Yeah,
just rap.
there was
Like,
no East Coast, West Coast, down South chap. Like
not at all.
was
Not at all. Whatever you can get your hands on, or whatever K Day was playing, that's what it was.
oh, wow, K Day still going to this day.
Yeah, it ain't the same as it was.
Yeah, yeah.
We're living in a different era, but they broke a lot of records. I used to get mixtapes from back east.
Okay, like
You
the
know,
DJ
so,
Clue. We're talking like the Red Alerts.
yeah, like Red Alert,
Oh
like
damn!
Chuck Chill Out and them and stuff like that. We used to get mixtapes from back there.
Do you still have some of those mixtapes?
No,
Oh, I
I
was
don't
gonna
got.
say they're worth quite a bit right now. You may want to keep those.
I know I had this one metal tape. It was 120 minutes. It had all and this was like 1985, 1984, 85.
Okay.
120 minutes live. What was the show? It was yeah, Mr. Magic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
Magic.
And it was live too. Jeez.
Well, it was the radio. Somebody taped the radio.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
how
man,
they
it
used to
was
back in the day. I remember doing that.
2 hours of just straight up. It's crazy.
Do you,
So
cause like I'm from the era too, from VCRs too. Do you remember hooking two VCs up to each other and then retaping another video to the other blank videotape too?
well, I used to do that with cassette tapes.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how I would record my first demos. I would get a cassette deck with two tapes,
Okay.
and I would loop a beat.
And just keep it going.
Yep, I would loop a beat and just keep recording that part that I like to where it's smooth, it's not offbeat and all that. And then I would take that tape, get into another radio, play that beat, and rap back into that radio, and that would be my song. I would even sometimes do it again to another cassette and do background vocals.
Oh, like the original.
So after
Okay.
that, it was all you couldn't do more because it would just sound bad.
Wow, that's crazy to see how fast technology evolved from back then until now. Because most time people could just hook up the laptop mic there. There you go, right there.
Yeah, my next step was a 4-track recorder.
Okay.
I thought I was in the game. Like, oh man,
Because
yeah,
you come from the days where you guys actually had to use analog with production and things like that back in the day too, where like you had to come prepared. There was no like, yeah, I'm gonna mess around and things like that. It's like you gotta come and work for this right here.
yeah. We had. You're right. Absolutely. We had four. Say we had 4 hours in the studio. That was it.
And
You had the later track, which took like 30 minutes in itself.
what about you? Well, like, did you nail it the first time, or like, are you a perfectionist? Like, you know what? I just kind of want to do it one more time.
Well, especially back then, I had books of raps.
Okay, okay,
Or whatever song we were doing, we already either we had already recorded it at home, or I was ready. I was ready. Like a lot of times, I would like have it memorized, or if I didn't, I knew the rap already what I was doing. So that part didn't take long. It was just like more like you said, analog. You had to lay the track, and we had to cut something. We'd go for lunch while the
producers keep
engineer
making the
sitting there
edits.
doing the cuts, and we come back, okay, it's ready. Like, so it was a different process. But the actual doing the lyrics was not taking up much time.
Okay. So I was curious too, like, you had been around like people like Wu Tang, like before, like they were Wu Tang, and like I'm just curious, like because you appeared on Master Ace's Disposable Arts classic album, by the way.
All
Um,
right.
during
Ace,
that,
what up, Ace?
past guest, by the way, too. So salute, Ace. So I was curious. During that time, you were on his flag team football team when you were around my age.
Well, it wasn't exactly that. This was, in the early 90s.
Okay.
I was out in New York, and he let me play on his team. He's like, I got a game.
Okay.
Want you to come out. So I came out to Brooklyn. We rode out to New Jersey. It was freezing cold, man, like ice. And yeah, and I got to run back and kick, played some defense. It was nice, man. It was good. I was like an honorary member of the team.
Yeah. Was that your very first time meeting Master Ace, or you met him like prior before that?
Yeah, before that, we've been good friends, man, for many years, man. Big up Master Ace, long live the Master Ace, man. And it's just crazy because we're the Liquid crew. I gotta put it out there. I came up with the name Liquid and all
Okay.
that. King T for sure, King, originator of the Liquid crew. But I've just played on words and just said we the Licks, Liquid, and our favorite crew was the Juice Crew.
Okay.
Even before we ever met them and everything. So going back to MC Shan again.
Yeah.
But we knew there was power in numbers. When I was his hype man, we had the King T posse. So we always knew that. So I was like, we need a bigger crew than just us. So it was like we're the West Coast Juice Crew.
Oh,
That's
I like
all
how you said that. Oh.
I can compare us to. So Master Ace, just embraced me when I came back east. I was living out there for a while in Harlem.
And
And yeah, man, him and Lord Digger and the whole crew,
and this
the
is
INC.
and this is like the day before the internet too. So I was curious
Yeah,
on like What
It would
was?
have been all on Instagram.
Yeah.
He out there looking like a fool running in the ice.
What was that like meeting somebody who you listened to, and then after like a couple of years, you actually got to meet him and them acknowledge you? Like, what was that feeling like, J. Ro?
I mean, they always say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Um, so it's always like a give and take thing. But when you meet somebody that that set you on a path at some time and you meet them and they're good people, that's just a double blessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just how I feel with that situation. So it really solidified the fact that we made the right choice.
On who you looked up to, because I always
Right,
somebody once told me that when you meet your idol, like you know everything about them, but you're just a stranger to them.
right, right.
So
So
something.
Craig G is a good friend of mine. I brought him out to Sweden. Roxanne Shante, beautiful, beautiful soul, man. Molly Marr, one of the coolest dudes ever.
Ooh,
So
one of the legendary producers ever.
yeah, absolutely. So they have something good going on, man. So
Um,
you know,
Speaking of
we-
Ken T too, I believe that was the first time I ever seen what you guys looked like, because you guys are actually in the booklet for his Triflin album.
yeah.
So I was curious, like, what was that day like to like for, because I understand you guys. He was the original. He found you guys. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, he created us.
Okay. So he
He
knew
created
you all
the lab.
individually before.
We didn't exist before him. No, really. I mean, our, our our parents grew up together. You
Oh,
know, we
really?
we known each other since we were kids, and he was my DJ at one time.
Okay.
He was
Wow.
he was just a DJ. He wasn't even rapping. He was DJing. We started making songs on the 4 track. Ice T heard him.
Oh,
DJ
whoa.
Pooh took him to Ice T. He loved his voice, and it was just over from there. And I ended up he went from being my DJ to me being his hype man.
That's crazy. Did you go by J-Ro back then too?
Yeah, I was Hitman J Roll.
Okay. So
Uh,
throughout time, you just dropped the Hitman part.
yeah, yeah. So there's a song called "Better Bring a Gun" with Mixmaster Spade. That was the first time my name was on the record. I'm on the credits, Compton Posse, the whole thing.
Man, that must have been
Um,
a good feel too.
yeah, man, that was incredible. But he started doing his thing. I was in school still. I was an athlete, so I went back to school. And when I got out, he was really doing it. And he said, I want to go on tour. And that's around the time that I met Swift and Tash, and I introduced them in, and he gave us the name the Alkaholiks, and we just rolled from there, man.
Man,
It
that.
it happened like bang, 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 bang. Like I got these two dope dudes. He's like, bring them in, boom. Oh, y'all got to be called the Alcoholics.
It's crazy, just from like one idea, or like just from two people meeting throughout time, can create something that will last forever. Because one of my favorite albums is Coast to Coast, and oh my god, man, I'm telling you, when I hear the WLIX intro,
Oh man.
woo, man, I lose my mind every time. It's like the first time I hear it. Can you take me back to the day you guys shot that album cover?
Oh yeah, I remember. Crazy photographer made us jump in the pool. Peace to Mona Lisa for letting us use her pool. Yeah, it was fun though. It was we knew we were out there to have fun, so we were like we gotta put it out there that we're out here having fun and we're willing to do anything, even jump in the pool with our clothes on for hip hop.
And would you say too, like you guys nailed that on the first shot? Because like this is like in the '90s too. Because nowadays, like you can just do this on your computer. I can only imagine the editing part for these photos.
No, it's probably like 10,000 shots.
Okay,
We had to
okay.
pick, go pick through the booklet. You pick through with the little eye thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's good. Yeah, this one. We mark like 10 of them. We break it down to one.
Okay.
So, not us couples did the album cover. The graphics, famous, super duper famous skateboard legend, did the cover, the artwork and the graphic.
Now, do you have a particular standout moment from recording that album too? Because that album was recorded in sessions, from what I know.
That Coast to Coast was like, yeah, it was all brand new music. Cause the first album was kind of like songs that we had already. I would say half of the 10 songs on the album were
Already out.
not already out, but we had already done them.
Okay.
We just went in and did them over, revamped them. But what do you call it? Coast to Coast was like, we're gonna start fresh. Uh, and just show the people what we working with now. So, for instance, like "Make Room" was a solo song I had that was probably like 2 or 3 years old.
Oh, really?
I really didn't want to release that as the first single. Like, what are y'all? That song is so old.
Oh. This is why I love when artists do interviews because we don't get to know these kinds of things. That's crazy. That was a solo record from you.
Yeah, so Tash put a verse on it. Mary Jane was a solo record.
Okay.
Only
Yeah.
One Drunk. Um, yeah.
Now, when you say solo record, did you have to like cut your verse out, or was just like one verse from you?
We just added Tash's verse. That's why usually I would have two verses on the song.
Oh, okay. Because like sometimes like when they get introduced to the Alkaholiks too, they're like, well, why does J Rob have two verses sometimes too? It's like, well, now y'all know why.
Right, right. So that was, Tash had moved back home to Ohio at the time, and I was just like doing solo records with Swift. And then when King T said, I need y'all, flew him back out here and just finished the album with him on it. That's why I Got It Bad. It's just me and E Swift. It
Okay.
was like my song featuring E Swift and King T.
Now, I understand too. Like you've been on a lot of tours too. Like even your first tour with De La Soul, you guys were in a Cadillac. Now, what was like some of the craziest tour after parties that you guys ever got to experience too? Or it wasn't really like that when it was tour, when it was like do the show and go home. I mean, go to the next city. Sorry.
Yeah, we used to hang out. I mean, we was hanging out more with De La Soul. Tribe was so huge at the time. It was just
Yeah, they
like,
were everywhere.
you didn't really see Tip or Fife is really, never come out the room. Rest in peace, Fife.
Yeah, rest in peace to
But
God,
like,
Fife.
hey, they all embraced us. They showed us how to do it. They ain't no punks. There ain't no punks. I've told this story on Vlad, I think, about, but, they showed us how to really do it, how to be gentlemen on tour and be professionals, and get out there and rock it while you're on stage. Make sure you prepare for the stage. I just want you to know I got like 2% on
Okay.
my laptop. I'm about to go help my man Montage One move. He's moving today. So,
Okay.
us liquid dudes, we look out for each other.
All right. Well,
Always the one. And happy birthday to King T. Yesterday was his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to my brother King T, man.
oh man, happy birthday to the God, Ken T, right there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so I won't. I'll ask you two more questions, J. Ro, and then I'll let you go right
Okay.
here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Good.
so as we talked about before, with you into containers now, like with these building containers, and you can build them into bars and living spaces. Now, who put you onto that? Because that's so like we need that over here in Canada.
Y'all got it. But it's I would say about 20 years ago I saw it for the first time over in Europe. I saw a construction site, and they brought the workers into the construction site, and they stacked these containers up that had windows in them. I'm like, wow. So they lived on site while they were doing the building. After they just moved them out.
Okay.
So that was my first time really seeing it. But when I came back to Cali this time, I started really getting into like alternative living, like, and I saw that people were doing it, so I just started getting interested in it. I'm not the first one to think about it or try to do it. People are doing it all over the world.
Okay.
I've even talked to some people in Canada about, getting shipping some, because I look up all the ports where containers are at.
Where they ship, yes.
So what it is, China has a big tax on them now, and they used to return the empty containers, but now they just leave them here because it costs them more to bring them back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's I shouldn't be probably saying this to everybody, but it's an over surplus of shipping containers out there. And to me, it's the best and easiest way to put people in housing very fast.
Yeah.
Very inexpensive. You can turn it into anything you want. Just imagine it's already a room. So just whatever you can do to a room, you can do to that. You got a 40-foot, 20-footer,
You make that a studio.
I have an office and studio in a 20-footer, man. And I fit like 5-7 people in there at a time.
Yeah, because these things ain't small. They're pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah, they do human trafficking in those things, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Not to make light of that, but you can imagine how many people can really fit in a container. You can fit every time I see one driving down the freeway.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, that's a family home. Family home. Family home. Like, give me that.
See, this is why I like when hip hop artists do things outside the music too, because I'll keep it all the way in buck. You are the first person to put me on that too. I never knew of anything like that till I followed you. I was like, J-Ro on Instagram? Oh, I'm about to follow him, see what J-Ro's doing these days.
Well, that's big, man. I mean, sometimes, I was teaching hip hop class out in Sweden, and I learned a lot just from doing that. That they're not coming for me.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't listening to that. No.
No, but I learned a lot myself about some of these things. What is the question you asked me?
Oh no, it wasn't really a question. I was just telling you. I'm glad this is why hip hop artists do things outside the music, because you were the first person to ever put me onto those container homes too. I was like, when I followed you on Instagram, I'm like, let me see what J-Ro doing those days. And I see you kept posting this. I'm like, yo.
So, yeah. I mean, it's all like you said. It's from a hip hop mind. So I used to tell my students that me being a b-boy, being a hip hop universal b-boy, that we always think of the future.
Okay.
We're like living in the future all the time.
Yeah. So, always thinking ahead.
And I said, this is a way I can prove this to you. I said, when you go to a party, do you already know what's going to happen before you get there? And some people are like artists or whatever, like they're like, no. I said, I do.
I was gonna say no.
I already know what raps I'm gonna say. I already know how people are gonna respond to it. Okay. If I'm DJing, I'm like, oh, when I play this record, people are gonna go crazy, and they do. So I've already predicted the future. Even a DJ just listening to the next record in his headphone, he already knows the future before the whole audience does, right? And that's the space that we live in. So bringing that mindset into the business world, I have a lot of people beat. Like, we have a lot of people beat just with that mindset because they don't have it.
Because they're not really living that hip-hop lifestyle. I never thought of it like that.
They only know what's right in front of them. Like show me, oh I like it, or it feels nice. Let's run with it. They
Oh,
don't have this vision of I know what's about to happen.
yeah,
So
and
yeah, I totally put that into my business ethics, and yeah, it's totally from hip hop, like you said.
man, that's crazy, man. I never thought of it like that, man. And this is why I love hip hop, man. It's a universal language, man, because it can like
Right.
connects everybody.
I
Um,
think we about to get cut off, man. I want to say peace and thank you
all right, my
before
G.
that happens, but yeah, for sure.
All right, and once again, J. I want to say thank you again for doing this. You have a blessed Sunday, my G. All right, one love.